Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, The Baker. Yes, Ron Perlman. If you've seen me before, every time I see a Ron Perlman film, I will remind you I met him on an airplane. We made eye contact, but whatever. I knew it was him. It was cool. We had a moment. Anyway, he's in this. He's I guess a baker, an elderly baker who must do everything he can to protect his granddaughter from gangsters. I don't know. 5.8 on IMDb, 1,565 people rated so far. In addition to Ron Perlman, Harvey Keitel will be in this film. So, hour and 44 minutes long. That's all I know. That's all we need to know. Let's get into it. I'll tell you more. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of The Baker. I have to laugh because I don't know if you watch my reviews in successions. I know some of you do. Last night I watched The Bricklayer, and I went on a little bit of a rant of, you know, hey, they're just making movies and creating these goofy occupations to have these people come out and be an ex-CIA agent, which is bricklayer, or an ex-assassin, or an ex-something or something to help, you know, save the world. And that was bricklayer, right? Well, here we are with the baker. The baker. And then soon enough, the beekeeper's coming out, you know, and hopefully the candlestick maker, you know. So it just cracks me up that that's what they're doing. So what this was the baker, Ron Perlman. You know, he actually is a baker, but he has somewhat of a past that we don't know, a mysterious past that makes him, you know, a tough guy, you know, and maybe even ex-military, who knows. But I had to bring my thing up because the other guy who's in this, I didn't recognize him in his IMDb picture, but you know him, Joel David Moore, right? He's in a lot of different things. So he is like a chauffeur of sorts, a limo owner, whatever. Well, he stumbles upon a bag of drugs. He's also a single father, so he's got his daughter. Stumbles upon this bag of drugs, takes them. Obviously, he just doesn't stumble, but that's a whole opening scene. Takes these drugs, takes his daughter, and then he's going to Ron Perlman, who is his dad, the girl's grandfather, so that he could give her the girl, stay with him for a minute while he goes and peddles these drugs and makes a lot of money, right? So there's your setup. And, you know, because he's struggling with a limo owner, whatever, struggling for money, this is going to set them up. But he's got to do this, so he leaves his daughter with the grandfather. And, you know, as you can imagine, stealing somebody's drugs and trying to peddle them yourself could lead to some consequences, putting not only himself but his daughter in danger. And so the baker has to help, right? And that's where you see some of the, you know, I'm calling it ex-military, but moves and fights and stuff like that. So there you go. And I'm going to compare it to the bricklayer because it's the same kind of concept. Now, they don't say he's ex-CIA, but, you know, it's the same kind of thing. An ex-something comes out of, you know, retirement, you know, from their gardening job to help save whatever's going on, right? Insert, you write the sentence and insert nouns wherever you want. That's kind of the way writing works. But yeah, but this one, for some reason, I was much more entertained. A lot less dialogue. The daughter, and they get through the backstory, a little bit of the backstory, like she doesn't speak. And, you know, they explain why, and they go into that a little bit. And Ron Perlman, in general, any character he plays doesn't have a lot of dialogue. So, very small amount of talking in this movie. Harvey Keitel's in it too, so he's the big owner of all the gangs and the drugs and stuff like that. So he's the ultimate boss whose drugs are out there. So, but even with that said, the lack of dialogue in this movie, it was a lot more entertaining. I was bought in a lot more. Maybe it was a father-daughter, grandfather-daughter type family aspect that drew me in a little bit more than the bricklayer. But it did. So I appreciated this one a lot more. Again, I feel like it is like not a tired story, but, you know. And I said this in Bricklayer, so I'm repeating myself, but if you don't watch all my videos, you wouldn't know that. But maybe it's original to a lot of other people. I watch a movie every night, so some of these things seem like, okay, or you're doing the, you know what I mean, rinse and repeat, for me. But this one was a better rinse and repeat than the previous one, in my opinion. I enjoyed it. I like Ron Perlman. I thought he does a great job. He's got to be, he looks old. I don't know how old. I should have probably looked it up. But, you know, he's got a lot of fight scenes in this, which were pretty cool. 1950. So, wow, 74 years old. That puts you, look at that quick math, right? 74 years old, and he's out there beating up guys. So, that's cool when you think about it that way. But I've always enjoyed him. I think he's a menacing character, so fun to watch this. Like I said, the story's not too original, but worth watching. I think it's, if I were to go, you know, I think it's quite obvious. If I had a choice between the two, it would definitely be the baker before the bricklayer. Can't wait to see the beekeeper. And they all start with bees. I just got that. Oh my gosh. And I don't know I really don't know what the beekeeper is about, but I'm assuming it's probably very similar, but you know, who knows. And there's a post-credit scene, so I'm excited to get back to that. So there you go. I think that's it. I got everything out that I wanted to say. Hopefully this was interesting. And if you haven't seen my review on the bricklayer, you don't have to go back and watch it. So, but you're more than welcome to. Alright, that's it. Before we cut, hold on. There was something that did bother me about this. So I was talking about the lack of depth. I thought the characters were well defined, but there's so many holes, I think. So I mentioned he's X something. We don't know. Like, where does he get all these talents? That's never portrayed, or at least I missed it. And I watched this entire movie, rewound it a couple times to see certain things. So I didn't see where he came from. Like, they show glimpses of flashbacks in his head, but you don't know where that is. So that bothered me. I like the intrigue, okay, you know, but I still wanted to learn a little bit more, I think, and if they did a good job of sneaking it in there, and I missed it. But that kind of bothered me a little bit. And then the fact that he's estranged from his son. Why did that happen? Again, they're showing flashbacks of them being father and son and doing father and son things, and there's an emotional tie there, but we don't know what happened. We know what happened to the girl's mother, but that's it. You know, so where was the falling out there? Again, something I might have missed. I didn't catch it, but that was another piece that kind of, I don't know. I like it. I'd like to know it, but it also creates some intrigue there, I guess. I don't know. So I wanted to throw that in there before I disconnected with you. Alright, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.